First, focus on phenolic compound extraction, antioxidant activity in food matrix, functional food application, and post-harvest banana quality. She has some publications such as incorporation of young coconut, cocoa, aloe vera.
And mesocrop increases the antioxidant activity, phenolic compounds, and oxidative stability of cookies that published on 2023. The other publication, you can see it as on the display.
Okay, without further ado, Dr. Lulum Leliana, the time is yours.
Ini nih ada terus kayak nakasobra, maksudnya nakaubas. Iku nakaunandang tuh nggak pilih kampus mau. Good morning for all the participants. I hope everyone is still excited to be in this class. It is because you guys already did a coffee break, so I hope all the participants still excited in this class. Firstly, I'm Lulum Leliana. You can call me Lulum. I am as the moderator of this session, and now I would like to introduce our speaker from Department of Agro-Industrial Technology, IPB University, Professor Dr. Insinyur Yandra Arkeman. He completed his doctoral degree in University of South Australia in Manufacturing System Engineering, and also completed his postdoc research at the Department of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science in Kansai University, and also completed postdoctoral research, another postdoctoral research at the Department of Computer Science, George Mason University. He also a researcher at the Surfactant and Bioenergy Research Center, SBRC, at Institut Pertanian Bogor since 2008, and established two research groups, SEALS, Center of Excellence for Agro-Industrial Logistics and Supply Chains Management, in 2014, and PREN, Blockchain, Robotics, and Artificial Intelligence Networks. His publication is a comparison of sugarcane drought stress based on climatology data using machine learning regression model, and also blockchain-based smart contract for IoT-enabled food industries, a systematic mapping study. And first of all, I would like to deliver my gratitude for taking your time to be today's speaker in this summer course, Prof. Yandra. I'm very glad that you can be here online today in this with us to meet our participants here. And Prof. Yandra will give some lectures about artificial intelligence for smart supply chains and precision agricultural systems. And that's very interesting topics, right? And the presentation will run about like 70 minutes, and following the discussion session will run about 35 minutes. And without further ado, to Prof. Yandra, you may start the presentation.
Okay, good morning all. I'm glad to be here to give the lecture to you all. I'm Yandra from IPB University. I will be giving the topics about AI and advanced digital technology application for supply chain management. Can you hear me well? Okay, voice is okay. Hello.
Yes, Prof. Yandra.
Yes. Okay. So I have prepared my PowerPoints with sound. So Alfie, you can start share my PPT, please. Okay, use the yang ini Alvin pakai suara.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all participants of the 7th summer course FTV Gajah Mada University, AI application for advancing the agri-food industry. And this morning, I would like to share a quick presentation of artificial intelligence for smart supply chain and precision agriculture system. This presentation is divided into 4 sections. First is agriculture and supply chains challenge. It tells us about the existing condition. And the second section is about the digital technology in agriculture and supply chains. What option do we have? And the number 3, the third one, is precision agriculture systems. What we have done so far in this aspect. And last one, on fourth section, is about the smart supply chains. We are in first section, agriculture and supply chains challenge. We have summarized that at least there are 6 points that we have been facing on the supply chains and agriculture. The first one is climate change and extreme weather, where we can see that flood and drought frequently disrupt our rice, corn, and vegetable harvest. And there are several other commodities as well are impacted. The second one is the high post-harvest losses. Again, Indonesia record a high food loss rate, where at least 30% of loss in chili, tomatoes, and fruits due to poor storage and logistics. Number 3, the third one is fragmented and inefficient supply chains, where unfortunately we still have multiple intermediaries, high logistical costs, and limited real-time market data. Again, there are just so limited transparency, information regarding both supply and demand. And as you can see on the right side, we have taken several articles and news supporting of what we have described here, including one from Universitas Gajah Mada. Aging farmer population and labor shortage. According to the Central Agency of Statistics, over 60% of Indonesian farmers are old over 45 years. And youth disinterest is rising. Number 5, low adoption of technology and data. Most decisions are still based on intuition, not data-driven approach. And number 6, the last one, last but not least, food safety and traceability issues. There are just limited traceability systems hinder export readiness and food quality assurance. Now take a look on the opportunities and challenges of agro-industry supply chains management. On the left side, you can see on the global food logistics, there are 3 points over there. Increased food demand, of course, with the number of population growth, the demand of food gets bigger and bigger from time to time. The second one, we can see that the improved post-harvest handling technology. And the number 3 is accelerated intelligent transportation technology and ICT growth. There are 3 on the global food logistics, where on the right side, you can see that the fresh food traceability plus the long supply chains are still creating what we call quality uncertainty and insecurity. And if we take a look on the causes of food scarcity and crisis, it's basically due to the failure of supply to meet demand in both quantity and quality. Why? It's either insufficient supply or increasing demand or both. And why the supply does not reach the consumers is the problem between supply and demand. And what we are offering here is a combination of blockchain and AI, or we call it as a smart blockchain. Blockchain as the backbone and artificial intelligence as the intelligent front or back end. The previous slide, we have discussed regarding the ability for the supply to meet the demand in both quantity and quality. This is where the importance of agro-industry supply chains management come to play. Why? Because it's ensuring that agricultural product can reach consumers. It's either to be eaten or to be used with the desired quantity, quality, and certainty. Why? Because from land to customer, from farm to fork, from land to table, from the upstream to downstream, all of those need what we call information, transparency, and traceability, where unfortunately today, these days, we still face or we have been facing with the lack of information, lack of transparency, and lack of traceability for both product, quality, and the document, the supporting document. On the previous section, on the first section, we have discussed about agriculture and supply chain challenge. Now, on the second section, we are going to discuss about the digital technology in agriculture and supply chain. So what exactly Agro-Industry 4.0 is? Well, the Industrial Revolution 4.0/5.0 is an automation technology with a cyber technology, with the term of CPS, Cyber Physical System, and various innovations such as robots connected to the Internet, IoT or Internet of Things, AI, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, blockchain, quantum computers, biotechnology, and autonomous vehicle. There are three strategic areas in the future. Number one, the development of industries that use agricultural raw materials, or we call it agro-industry. It's added value revolution, environmentally friendly, and sustainable. Three factors. And the number two, food security, availability of clean water, bioenergy, and natural medicines for people survival. And number three, massive use of advanced digital technologies such as artificial intelligence, IoT, blockchains in all areas of life. This is where we came from. With all of these three, this will spur the development of agro-industry 4.0/5.0. Let's move to the transforming supply chains and agriculture with artificial intelligence. Let's see on the left side, which is on the core needs column. Efficiency, it stands for minimal outputs, maximum outputs. Accuracy, it says about precise decision based on reliable data. And when we are talking about speed, is on how to respond quickly to change or to a disruption. When we are talking about adaptability, it's on how we adjust to the dynamic condition. And let's see on the right side where we are discussing about implication of unmet needs. Overuse of input, for example, it creates of environmental degradation. On the delayed harvest, its impact on market loss. On the inaccurate demand forecasting, it creates food waste, where if we have poor response to pest or disease, unfortunately, it will create crop loss. So all of these implication impact if unmet needs happened. So this is where artificial intelligence comes to play, because artificial intelligence enables smart decision to meet these critical needs, these three critical needs, which is faster, better, and more sustainably. So before we dive deeper into the use of various digital technologies in agriculture and supply chains, it is important to first understand what AI actually means. So what is AI? AI, or artificial intelligence, is basically the study and development of techniques that enable computer or machine to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, such as recognizing patterns, making predictions, and learning from data. Importantly, AI is not just a tool, but a collection of methods or algorithms that allow systems to mimic how the human brain thinks, learn, and decide. In the context of agriculture and supply chains management, AI can be used to predict crop yields, monitoring soil and weather conditions, automating sorting and grading of the harvested commodities, detecting disease, forecasting demand, and managing logistics. Well, we can see here some of the most commonly used AI tool and model, as you can see on the right side, on the bottom, support vector machines, artificial neural networks, and so on and so forth. These tools are transforming how we manage agricultural production and supply chains, helping us move toward smarter, more efficient, and more sustainable food system. In addition to AI, blockchain is another digital technology that is often implemented in the development of precision agriculture and smart supply chain system. This is largely due to the unique characteristics of blockchain, often summarized as the 3T, which is trusted, transparent, and traceable. Blockchain is considered trusted because it allows all parties in a network to access same verified and immutable data, removing the need for a central authority or third-party verification. Transparent because every transaction is recorded in a shared ledger that is visible to all authorized participants, ensuring openness and accountability. Most important for supply chains, blockchain is traceable. Every piece of information entered into the blockchain is stored in a block that is linked to previous blocks using cryptographic hashes. This creates a continuous and unalterable chain of data record. So in essence, blockchain is a computer program or platform that records every transaction involving multiple parties in a business. These parties can be spread out geographically in various locations, various countries, or even various continents. Each block in the blockchain contains relevant data, is protected by a unique hash, and is connected to the next block through a linking hash. Because these blocks are interdependent and cannot be altered individually without affecting the entire chain. So blockchain ensure a high level of data security and integrity. Synergize blockchain with AI. Both AI and blockchain play distinct yet equally important role. When these two technologies are integrated, they can create a more powerful and intelligent system, often referred with AI, offers significant benefits, while blockchain ensure data integrity, transparency, and traceability. AI adds the ability to analyze, learn from, and make prediction based on the data stored on the blockchain. This combination allows for smarter decision making, greater automation, and enhanced system efficiency. In the context of agriculture and supply chains, smart blockchain can be used to improve everything from quality control to logistic optimization. For example, AI can be used to detect the nutritional content or chemical composition of food products without damaging or opening the packaging, while blockchain records and secure the result, making them tamper-proof and accessible to all stakeholders in the supply chains. This kind of integration not only improves transparency and safety, but also builds greater trust between producers, distributors, and consumers. Smart blockchains is therefore a promising direction for building future-ready, sustainable, and intelligent agricultural supply chains. After this, we are going to show you some example of the implementation of this concept in Indonesia and utilized not just by Indonesian but also others. Now we are going to discuss about precision agriculture systems. Some examples will also be described. Those have been implemented by Brain IPB universities. What precision agriculture is? Well, it's also called a precision farming or smart farming. It's a modern farming approach that uses technology and data to optimize crop production, increase efficiency, and reduce waste and environmental impact. So precision agriculture is the practice of managing crops and farming activities site specifically, meaning farmers tailor their action based on the exact needs of small section of a field rather than treating the entire field the same in a specific area, specific location with a specific treatment instead of all get the same treatment. The key technology used on this precision agriculture is GPS. It tracks exact location in a field and maps soil and crop condition. Second technology used is remote sensing and drones. So it's monitor crop health, detect pests, or assess moisture using aerial imagery. Number 3, IoT sensors. Measure soil moisture, temperature, nutrient levels, and in more real time. Number 3, VRT or variable rate technology. it will apply water, fertilizer, or pesticides only where needed in a particular amount, specific amount. Number 5, big data and AI analytics. It's analyze trends from historical and real-time data to make a farming or a better farming decision, I should say. And the last technology used is autonomous tractors and machinery. It carry out precise planting, spraying, and harvesting. So the benefit of precision agriculture, I would say that it increase crop yields, it reduce costs, like for example, cost of fertilizer, pesticide, and water, because it will be given based on the need only. And number 3 is environmental protection through less runoff and soil degradation for sure. Number 4 is improved decision making using data and predictive analytics. And last one is labor efficiency via automation and robotics. So this is the first example of what we have done. Clustering types of rice disease based on the leaf image. Machine learning help us on predicting with a large volume of data and presents with learning algorithms so that we can identify the disease with more accurate, quickly, and more reliable. Based on this analysis, we then able to provide the solution. What kind of action should be taken? Number 2, random forest prediction for sugarcane drought using satellite imagery data. So it's basically, by using this satellite, we can identify the condition of the sugarcane, and then we can then apply the appropriate irrigation scheduling system as necessary. No more, no less. Precisely. Number 3, the identification of health condition distribution of shallots using template matching algorithm, random forest classification method, and NDVI based on drone image. It's basically after the evaluation, after we identify the condition, the health condition of the plant, then we can predict or estimate the amount of harvested production, and those plants are not in good health can be used as a fertilization data or information based on drone sprayer. Again, accurate, exact amount needed, and impact or give a maximum impact to the plantation health because of the accurate information provided. Number 4, this is what we have been working together, supported by Bappenas, Indonesian National Planning Agency, regarding coconut. So Bappenas has a plan or has a roadmap for increasing value add, improving competitiveness, boosting export, sustainability, and product diversification. So this is where we offer artificial intelligence application, at least for, as you can see on the right side, raw material grading and sorting, supply chain logistic traceability, quality control, process optimization, product innovation, and waste valorization. So these have been going on. I will be more than happy to share in more detail later. Discuss about precision agriculture on the previous section. Now we are entering the fourth section, is what we call smart supply chains. Supply chains using AI, blockchains, and IoT. A smart supply chains is a technology-driven supply chains that use digital tools, automation, real-time data, and artificial intelligence to improve the efficiency, visibility, and resilience of the entire supply chains from raw material to customer, from farm to fork. A smart supply chain integrates advanced technology to automate decisions, optimize operations, and adapt quickly to change in demand, supply, and external disruption. As you can see on the drawing on the right side, that core technology involved are Internet of Things, where it tracks goods in real time, both location, temperature, humidity, and so on and so forth. Second is artificial intelligence, AI, which can predict demands, manage inventory, and automate logistics decision. Number three is big data and analytics. It uses large volumes of data to optimize routes, inventory level, and sourcing. Number four is blockchain. It secures and verifies transaction and product origins across supply chain nodes. Number five is cloud computing. It enables real-time sharing of information across suppliers, distributors, and retailers. And the last one is robotics and automation, where it speeds up tasks like packaging, sorting, and warehouse management. And if we take a look on the benefit of smart supply chains, it gives us at least 6 points. Number one, real-time visibility. Number two is better forecasting and demand planning. Number three is faster response. Number four, lower operational costs. Number five, enhance sustainability. And last but not least, number six, improve customer satisfaction with faster and more accurate delivery. The first example given for smart supply chains is the smart supply chain system of oil palm fresh fruit benches from independent smallholder farmers. This has been implemented in Kampar, Riau Province, Indonesia, and already proved that the system works very well and it's able to give a clear traceability, real-time information, transparency regarding where the fresh fruit bunches came from which plantation. Are we sure that the plantation is not a converted land from forest? So those information are able to be answered precisely, real time by this system. The second example is the real-time quality prediction system of fresh mango long-distance transportation. So this already secured the problems that we had in the past when we export mango to Japan. Previously, when we export mango to Japan, it ends up with a high percentage of rotten mango because we cannot control and monitor as well as predict in the past regarding the quality of mango. Now we can do that by using an artificial intelligence approach combined with the IoT, Internet of Things, put sensor in the container, then we can monitor the quality of mango stored inside the container and ensure that by the time it gets to our customer in Japan, the quality are already or are maintained in a proper quality level. The third one is the fresh milk smart grading system based on Internet of Things. So by putting a proper system in place, put a sensor, then we can identify easily, precisely regarding the quality of fresh milk before it gets into the factory. The grading system is there, precisely. And as you can see, the accuracy is 92.59%. And the fifth example is what we have done during the COVID-19 pandemics. We call it precision food logistics. So it's basically answer the need to have the supply meets the demand accurately, precisely as what needed, as how many are needed, and so on and so forth. Proven and is even already implemented in Bogor area during the COVID-19 pandemics. The sixth example is what we have done with or together with Toyota Indonesia, Toyota Motor Manufacturing Indonesia. It's called the application of the IoT, blockchain, and AI of its supply chains. Aside of the automotive business that Toyota already own, they have entered what they call as a mobility services. It's basically a car with the cold storage on and the technology supported with with the purpose of provide a clear visibility to the customer regarding the fish on their plate or their dining table, where it came from, when it was captured, and so on and so forth. The sixth example is what we have been working together with the National Halal Assurance Agency or BPJPH Indonesia. It's called a transparent distributed system for halal supply chains using blockchain technology. And this is the first blockchain technology applied for halal assurance system in the world. It became a reference for other countries. The seventh example is blockchain for delivery order on Indonesia National Single Window or INSW, a system for import and export in Indonesia. The only system. It's belong to the government, LNSW or Ministry of Finance, and is already implemented in one of the aspect, which is the delivery order. So this is the first applied, the blockchain based applied for export import system in Southeast Asia, and the second in Asia. South Korea was the one who implemented this before Indonesia. Is now going to be expanded to other areas in Indonesia National Single Window System. The next example is blockchain-based traceability of shallot supply chains. We call it AgriBlocks. It's already implemented, supported by the Ministry of Agriculture. So it's there. The last example given here is the leveraging blockchain for enhanced food traceability and trust in Australian Indonesian horticulture supply chains. So it's joint research of Central Queensland University in Australia and IPB University, and it's supported by the Australian government's Department of Agriculture. So it's been going on. We have completed the first phase and it's moving to the next phase. Again, this is another example that blockchain AI implementation in agriculture in Indonesia already there. Now it's really on us. Are we going to move forward with all of this fundamental, this example available, and then we'll get most benefit out of it? So I think that's the end of my presentation. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I will be more than happy to answer any questions raised.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Yandra,
Again,
for your
thank you so much.
explanation. I hope Prof. Yandra's explanation is clear enough for anyone here. So you can ask him more if you are still have something you're curious about, or maybe after this session is done, you can contact him directly. Is there anyone in this room or the participant who joined online has any question to Prof. Yandra about AI and in detail is supply chains? Actually, the artificial intelligence and in detail about to manage the supply chains is important, especially for the tropical countries. Maybe anyone from tropical countries. Oh, okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof, for your insightful lecture. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Bahar, and I'm from Bangladesh. Currently, I'm pursuing my master's in agribusiness at University of 11 Maret, Surakarta, Solo. So I want to know a little bit more about POSICI means or FCM, which is using for clustering. So is there any other options or old or new version, and why this is important, or this is used for in this process? I think thank you so much.
Okay, Prof. Yandra, will you answer directly or we collect the questions first? Okay, so we collect the question first. Thank you, Baha from Bangladesh.
Bangladesh.
Okay, can you repeat the question once more? So
Yeah.
I will note. Yeah, I will take a note.
I want to know like they are for clustering the data.
Mhm.
So they're using FuzzyC means FCM.
FCM,
Yeah, FuzzyC means yeah.
food sub food
No,
supply chain.
Fuzzy. Yeah, there is a using FuzzyC means or FCM. So I want to know like there has any other version like old version or newly modified version or why we chose this one like FuzzyC means or this one.
Okay,
Why not other alternatives? Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, maybe other questions from other participants. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So, distribution in Indonesia is very tricky because in Indonesia we have a lot of island and there are small islands. So, especially when we distribute something that is very perishable. Okay, I study about food science technology. So basically, I study about post-harvest treatment and handling. There are also technology called smart packaging. So smart packaging is packaging that's be able we know how much damage and estimate damage of perishable food. So, but also this technology, if we combine with AI, it's gonna be very expensive. Do we need both technology to solve the distribution, the logistic problem, if the food is perishable? So yeah, the question is, do we need both technology to maximize the distribution and reduce food loss? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What's your name? Sorry.
My name is Tari from Indonesia.
Okay, Tari. Thank you, Tari. Okay, maybe for first session is one more question. We will open the second session after Prof. Yandra answered the first session. Or maybe, wait, I will check. Or maybe is there the participants who join online has any questions to Prof. Yandra? You can raise your hand or write your question in the chat box. Or maybe is there any more question from participants in this room? Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Asham. I'm from Bandung Institute of Technology. And the question that I want to ask is regarding about the blockchain itself, especially in industry scale. Many industry use private blockchains. Maybe I can give names such as RAF algorithm or maybe Hyperledger Faber that many industry use. But the question is what I know. The private blockchains only run between industry. But if we want to support retailers into consumers, it is necessary to have a public blockchain or just use private blockchains. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Asham.
Fasham.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Prof. Yandra just told us that we should wait for 10 minutes to answer, so maybe I will collect more questions. Is there any question from participants in this room? I think the theme is really, really interesting because we all live in 2025 and all of the thing is AI based. So from all of you, please take this opportunity to ask the expertise from IPB University, Prof. Yandra, to ask anything about AI, especially in supply chains management. Is there anyone still has questions? Okay, I think I will close the first session of the question and answer session. And Prof. Yandra, are you still there, Prof. Yandra? Okay, Prof. Yandra said one more question. Maybe is the online participants, do you guys have question to Prof. Yandra? If you, okay, Teresita, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Terry. So okay, thank you, Dr. Terry. You can contact the Prof. Yandra if you have questions or any related things about AI and supply chains management. And about the resource speaker, maybe we will ask the speaker first and we will distribute it if the speaker allow us the committee to distribute it. So we will contact all the participants. If the participants needs the material, we will ask the speaker first and we will usually we distribute it by email. Okay, maybe one more questions from this room? No? Okay, Prof. Yandra, I think we just got 3 questions. I will start to review the collected questions. The first one is about fuzzy C-means. Actually, Prof. Yandra, I am working on food science and supply chains management. Yes?
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, so the first question is about fuzzy C-means. And that's a new thing for me also. That's new vocabulary for me. So
Fuzzy,
yeah.
fuzzy C means fuzzy. C means actually clustering, clustering bus, clustering system, in one of artificial intelligence technique that use for clustering the data, and now it become more advanced by using another AI technique, what we call the fuzzy system. So combination of fuzzy and clustering system. Yes, we can use, to answer your question, we can use what we call the software, the new software, and there are some ready to use software, but if your problem is pretty difficult, quite difficult, you can you have to develop your own fuzzy C means algorithm. That's my answer to first question. Second question, please.
Okay. The second question is about nowadays, in post-harvest technology, we use packaging called smart packaging. So smart
Yes.
packaging possibly combined with AI in detailed supply chain management. And do we need both? Because it's too expensive if we combine smart packaging and the AI of supply chain management.
Yes. Actually, when we are talking about smart packaging, yeah, it is not really, related to AI. Just smart because they use sensor or something like that. If you want to true smart packaging system, yes, right, you have to use AI to analyze the data, to analyze the system, yeah, and also to recommend the best action for you to make the product is good, safe using your packaging system. But if you also raise the issue about the price, yeah, smart packaging will be expensive with AI. Yes, but you know that right now AI system, AI technologies become more cheap, yeah, cheaper and cheaper every day because it's already been used for many purposes, and also even in your gadget you can have some commercial AI technology. Except that again, if your system, if your object, if your commodities have a complex, a model, have your complex system that has to be handled by your own made AI system. Yeah, you have to do research first and then create your own AI. It will be more expensive than you use the commercial available commercial AI. So in the future, yeah, AI will be like handphone. Yeah, maybe 20 years ago, handphone is very expensive. Only rich people can afford handphone. But right now, everybody can, afford handphone. Everybody, yeah, even the people that low income still they need a handphone. Something like that. Yeah. Okay, number 3.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yandra. And the last question is about the blockchain. Usually in blockchain in industry scale, usually using private. Yeah. And the
Yes,
question
yes.
is it possible to make it public?
Yes, blockchain can be private, can be public blockchain. Yeah, in financial like Bitcoin or Solver, we use public blockchain, but in supply chain, we use private blockchain. Yeah, as mentioned by the I forgot the name. Yes, from ITB. Yeah,
Yes,
the
Asam.
the man, yeah, from ITV, the gentleman from ITV, but the Hyperledger, Hyperledger is one of tools that can be used to develop blockchain. Hyperledger is issued by IBM, but it's not the only one. You can use many others, yeah, blockchain software or blockchain, even blockchain as a service. So if that's right, if you want to use it for supply chain management, yeah, because it only cover your company and only your network, you don't need to use public blockchain. You have to use the private blockchain. Yeah. But if you want to use it for like a financial system that will or payment system that will be used all over the world and will be used by everybody, you should use public blockchain. But again, in this case, because we are dedicated our blockchain for supply chain, for agricultural system, we must use what we call the private blockchain.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yandra, for your answer. Actually, we still have like 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe can we open the second session, Prof. Yandra,
Yes,
if
sure.
we
Yeah,
have
I'm
more
free now.
question from the
I'm
participants?
in a good place to answer your question.
Okay. Is there any more question from the participants in this room? Okay.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Siti Jualia. I'm from Indonesia, UGM. And then, thank you, Prof, for the good insight, and Miss Lulum for the time. I want to ask about how can we ensure that when the supply chain use cold chain is carried out using cold chain, like when in distribute there are damage can be detected and the time of occurrence can be determined, like when the distribute using cold chain, we never know the product will get damaged what the time, and then usually in ultra milk always there are mini damage, and maybe the distributed with cold chain is not detected, but it's so dangerous if we cannot detect it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Siti from UGM. Is there any questions from this room? Or maybe okay. Or maybe from the online participants, you can raise your hand or drop the questions in the chat box. The theme is actually the theme is very, very interesting because nowadays we cannot live without AI actually. I can guarantee you guys, if you do not know anything, you can easily open your phone and you ask the ChatGPT, which is also an AI. Is there any question from the participants from this room? 2 more questions, maybe? Okay. Okay, Prof. Yandra. I think we have one more question, and I will add my other question from myself. I will first read the question from Siti. How can we ensure the cold supply chains? How we can ensure the cold supply chains to make sure the products is distributed well without any damage. How can we measure like the time? It is because the perishable products like meat, fish, it's easily easily damaged. How can we ensure that there is no damage on those products? Okay. Yes. Okay, Prof. Yandra. I think you are accidentally kicked out from the Zoom meeting. Yes,
now I'm
you got
here.
disconnected.
Yes, now
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. Should I repeat the question, Prof. Yandra?
Yeah, asking about the blockchain, AI and cold chain. Yeah, I
Okay,
think I
yes,
can
yes.
answer the question. Yeah.
The question is about the cold chain supply the cold supply chains. How can
Cold
we
supply.
ensure the products that we distribute is distributed well without any damage?
Yes, that's what we why we should use AI, blockchain, and IoT, yeah, in our supply chain system. For example, as I mentioned before in the slides in the presentation, that one project that we have done is about the mango supply chain to ensure that mango from Jakarta will be transported to Surabaya, and during transportation and after transportation at the destination, the quality of mango still good as predicted. So we use what we call first is machine learning to predict the quality of the mango by considering temperature, considering also humidity, and secondly, when it is transported, we monitor all the parameters like temperature, humidity using Internet of Things or IoT, and give the feedback to the control room in Jakarta or in Surabaya. So any change in the condition of transportation will be fixed, will be fixed by the headquarters. So automatically change. Like for example, is the temperature is rise, so the air conditioning will be automatically will be increased, will be reduced. The temperature will be reduced. Also, humidity and other factors. By designing the transportation system using AI, IoT like this, so we can ensure that our distributed product will arrive at the destination in very good quality as predicted, and also very good. And also the quantity is also as demand as demanded by the customers. Without this, we cannot guarantee quantity of the product. Sometimes it will be deterioration will be more than 50%, or sometimes 60%, and the quality also reducing, the quantity also reduce. So again, we have already use AI, IoT, and blockchain in real use case. In this case, is mango transportation in Indonesia from Jakarta to Surabaya and from Surabaya to Balikpapan. At the end of our research, of course, we will use this technology for exporting mango to Japan. That's my answer. Hopefully, it can fulfill your. It can answer your question.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Yandra. The last question is from me. Prof. Yandra, which one is the most promising research to be developed with this theme? I mean, with this, your expertise about the artificial intelligence in supply chain management, which one of is the most promising research can be developed? It is because all of the participants is mostly students, which may be bachelor and also master students. So maybe is there anyone here who can develop the research about AI in supply chains?
Yes, I think so. Nowadays, blockchain, AI, IoT, and what else? Big data analytics is becoming buzzwords. They're becoming very massively applied in whole sectors. In many sectors, including most importantly to our supply chain. So that's why I think why Australian government, not mistaken, Australian Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry also initiate collaboration with us in Indonesia to develop the what we call the horticulture supply chain system. First, we are doing citrus, and secondly, hopefully by this year we can start cacao supply chain by controlling by and advancing by AI technology, IoT technology, big data analytic technology, and also blockchain technology. I think it is not only for doctoral or master student, it's also very suitable for bachelor student. Even for some of them can be conducted also by high school student.
Okay, thank you for your explanation, Prof. Yandra, and also thank you from your lecturer today. If all the participants still have questions or maybe suddenly want to ask something to him or any research that you wanted to propose about the AI in supply chains, or just interested to be connected with Prof. Yandra, you can contact him directly through mobile phone and also email that already dropped in the text box in the Zoom. And before I end this session, allow me to highlight some important notes from this session. The integration of AI in agriculture, from precision monitoring and predictive analytics to automated logistics and smart distribution networks, marks a pivotal shift towards more resilient, data-driven, and efficient in agri-food system. This progress holds vast potential, especially when aligned with ethical frameworks, inclusive access, and local wisdom. And once again, thank you, Prof. Yandra, for your
Thank you
time
very
and
much.
insightful presentation, and also for all the participants, for the active participants. And Prof. Yandra, this is the last question.
Thank you.
Is there any final words from you to all the participants?
Yes, so the final word is thank you very much for your attention, for your participation in the discussion. And if you still have question, I'm very happy if to discuss with you by emails, by WhatsApp or whatever the communication mode. And even if you have time to come to Bogor, you can drop in. You can call it in our office, Brain IPB University, in the city of Bogor. So that's all. Again, thank you very much. Good luck for you all.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Yandra. And now I think I will return the session to the Master of Ceremony. Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much to Professor Yandra Arkeman for being an insightful lecturer about artificial intelligence for smart supply chain and precision agriculture system. We would like to give the appreciation certificate that will be given, symbolized by our moderator.
Thank you, Prof. Yandra.
And also, we would like to thank Dr. Lulum Leliana, who led the discussion before, and the certificate of appreciation will be given by the committee, Dr. Korta Ayun. With the session of appreciation certificate already implemented, then the second module of the summer course has ended. For operators, you may stop